If you guys are watching this, you're also probably feeling burnt out and can't seem to do anything but scroll on your phone. But we're gonna fix this together. You have to implement little small steps throughout your week. You know, I actually got the idea for this video because 2 weeks ago I was so burnt out. Like, I'm talking like I was crispy. I was burnt to my core, pan fried, baked in the oven, like burnt. And I am feeling better this week, but it was really tough. And I know a lot of you guys can relate to this, so I wanted to make a video on how to cure your burnout. And obviously it's like an everyday process to do little things to make sure it doesn't build up to this big burnout. So we'll talk about that stuff, but I want to have a bit of a reset routine with you guys and hopefully inspire you guys to take more time to help yourself relax and focus on things that aren't necessarily work related. I'm feeling very comfy, very cozy right now with my big old blankie, but I think we need to get out of bed for a sec, have a little reset, and then figure out what else we want to do together. My name is Vanessa if you're new. If you're not, welcome back. Make sure to subscribe and let's get out of bed and start healing together. Okay, we did a quick little outfit change. This is a blue sports bra from Aerie, I think, and I'm wearing my comfy black little sweatpants. I really want to get some movement in. I'm gonna do like a 10-minute yoga video. Obviously, when you're feeling burnt out, it's really hard to do any form of exercise, so just test what your limits are, because some people feel better after going on a run, but some people, like myself, might feel too tired. I feel like a good short stretch is like the midpoint. It gets me moving, but it's very gentle, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm very thankful to have YouTube on my TV. It makes me feel so fancy. I think I'm gonna just do something like yoga with Adrienne. She's the OG. I honestly wanted to go to the gym today and bring you guys with me, but it didn't happen, you know, and that's okay. And you shouldn't put yourself down if, for example, you made plans for the gym but you didn't end up going, because it really is a tough balance.
You have the power to transform any negativity or anxiousness. You have the tools and the power to transform it to something that feels good, even if it's just a moment of peace.
I always feel so great and so relaxed after I do a little yoga session, and I feel like I need to do it more often. So obviously today you and I are having a whole reset routine together, but if you're somebody that has a full-time job or multiple jobs and you can't take one entire day to reset, you have to implement little small steps throughout your week so that you don't end up getting so burnt out and getting so exhausted. So take little pieces of what you like from this video and implement it into your own life, into your own schedule. Something like a short yoga video, I feel like you can do 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, and maybe that's your only kind of self-care technique for the day, but at least you did something. And it's just really important to understand how the body affects the mind. If you can convince your body that you're feeling relaxed, then your mind is going to slowly start to relax. And that's just like a little science hack that you can use for your own mental health. I think we deserve a treat after that, don't you guys think so? I did have a little bit of espresso this morning, but I really want to make a matcha, so let me show you my matcha recipe. Guys, I was not expecting this matcha to be this good. Weird fun fact about me, whenever I make matcha, I simply can't make it with anything else besides soy milk. It just tastes awful to me with any other kind of milk, including whole milk, almond milk, oat milk. It just grosses me out, but when I go to a coffee shop and I get it with anything else, it's fine. So I don't know if it's like a mental thing or if I'm not putting enough sugar, but this came out so good. I randomly added pumpkin pie spice, which I didn't think would taste so strong, but it does give a really good flavor. Something that is really important for our mental health is to keep a clean home. I know this isn't what you want to hear. I know you don't want me to tell you you gotta clean your room when you're feeling so tired, but sometimes it's just kind of impossible to relax in a dirty room. Do this for yourself. Do it for you. I promise you won't regret it. The most it will take is 30 minutes, but that's if you're doing a deep clean. I just want to pick up stuff around the house, vacuum, light some candles, and give myself a relaxing atmosphere, because if I just see things lying around unorganized, I'm constantly thinking about it, and then how am I supposed to relax? Let's get to cleaning. It's really important to have a different set of hobbies that you can kind of rotate through when you want to take time to relax. And I feel like I always get stuck scrolling on my phone, scrolling on TikTok, watching YouTube videos, which doesn't always feel harmful because I really love watching YouTube videos, and it is long form content, which definitely doesn't affect your brain as badly as doom scrolling does. But at the same time, I'm like, I really want something that's screen free, but still very relaxing. I guess mostly like social media free, because, you know, watching TV, watching a movie is technically a screen, but it's not the same impact as scrolling online. I have a couple different videos on different hobbies like this. One of the main ones that you guys see me do a lot is coloring. I usually color with my markers, but today I'm feeling the color pencils. I don't believe you have to be artistic to color. I use this Cozy Friends coloring book that I got on Amazon, and it's all just stuff that you can like color in the lines, and it doesn't have to look good, okay? Just as long as it's fun and relaxing. Something to kind of disconnect. I feel like sometimes it is important to let yourself have a little doom scroll, but it's not really relaxing your mind. And if you want to be able to sleep well after a really long work week, you gotta make sure that your mind is feeling good, is feeling at peace. I will definitely allow myself some TikTok time if I'm very, very tired, but I'll limit myself to like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, in 15 minutes, I'm gonna get off my phone and I'm gonna do this instead. And that's kind of a good way for me to be like balancing my scrolling time with my other hobbies. So choose something that is easy for you to do after work and isn't overstimulating. Let's get into it. So another habit I've been trying to implement more is to take a self-care bath. I didn't really have a bathtub growing up, and every time I would go to a hotel that had a bathtub, I would really romanticize it. I would get a bath bomb, bubbles, all that stuff. And now that I have my own apartment with a bathtub, I'm like, okay girl, we gotta take advantage. Because there was once a time that I was dreaming of this moment. I feel like we underestimate the power of a bathtub. Usually this is something I would do at nighttime. It's literally 2 p.m. in the afternoon right now, but I actually think that makes it even more romantic. I feel like an afternoon bath is very similar to an afternoon nap. It feels so special because it's so random, and the hot water just really makes your muscles relax. Guys, we're literally back to where we were in the beginning of this video, and that is in bed. But this is a very well-deserved little bed rot. There is simply nothing more comforting than laying in your bed, especially after a relaxing bath. When you've been feeling so overwhelmed and exhausted and overworked, sometimes all you want to do is lay in bed, and that's okay. So long as it's more or less recharging you rather than draining your energy more. I feel like there's different stages to having a bed rot. One of them is to sit in your bed without doing anything else and just like scrolling on your phone, and that that's not necessarily the best thing for you. But then there's other options where you do get out of bed at some point and do maybe a couple things we did in this video, like clean up a little bit, take a bath, and then come back to your clean sheets and do some sort of hobby that is truly entertaining. The hobby that I'm picking is to play Animal Crossing. You guys obviously know how big of a fan I am, and since it is the fall time, I really want to like goth out my island, so that's what I'm working on. Having some kind of decorative goal in this game really forces me to work, and I don't just feel like I'm building stuff for no reason. But if you're not a gamer, make a little list on your notes app of different activities that you can do for yourself. Like I said, I have a couple different videos on this topic, but just make a huge list on the things that you like to do that will actually add value to your life. I'm not saying you have to be productive while doing your hobbies, but do something that enriches your mind or enriches your body. I know that sounds silly because I'm literally about to play video games, but this is my favorite game and it feels so cozy. And I'm still creating something. I'm creating an island, I'm curating a vibe, and that's very satisfying for me. But truly, there is nothing like coming home after a long day and sitting in bed and doing something fun. I've been wanting to try to binge more TV shows and movies, which is hard because I don't live alone, so I share that time with my husband. But recently, I've been watching the new season 2 of Wednesday. I've been putting on a lot of Gilmore Girls in the background, Twin Peaks. I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a little bit, and I also got the entire Twilight Saga on DVD, so I'll be watching that soon. And I also have Beetlejuice on DVD, so those are some options if you guys are interested. Anyway, let's relax and play some Animal Crossing. I hope you guys were able to find something in this video that inspires you to take more time for yourself, to take more breaks, to take more time to rest. I feel like that's something a lot of us neglect, and having time for self-care and all these kinds of things is just as important as your productivity time. A few years ago, my therapist told me something very wise. Since I'm a big fan of to-do lists, she told me to make a to-do list of things that I have to do, but then also of things that I want to do. So maybe I have like 5 to 6 different things that I have to do, like running different kinds of errands, doing different kinds of work, but then also have a list of like 2 or 3 things that I really want to do, like play my video games, watch a movie, because your hobbies are just as important as your work, and you can be super productive and get all this hard work done, but if you're tiring yourself out, feeling burnt out, it's gonna really take a toll on your mentality, and if you're not mentally doing well, then it's gonna affect your work, and it'll affect your social life, your physical health. So make it a priority to do 1 to 2 things that you really like during the day, because our goal is to not end up getting burnt out. So we want to implement different strategies daily so that we don't work so hard the entire week and then end up feeling super burnt out by Friday or Saturday. And it can be hard because if you're working really crazy schedules, you might not feel like you have time for yourself, and that may be true, but take 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. That is the least you could do, and if it's something that you're really focused on, you can do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe because I can see which one of you are not subscribed. Anyway, I love you. I will see you next week, and make sure to follow all my socials to keep up with all my videos. Bye!